All right. Good afternoon, Bert. Thank you so much for allowing me to record this portion of the interview.
Hi, it's good to see you and meet you finally.
Yes, thank you. Same. So we've been chatting for a little while about some opportunities here locally in Volusia County, and I wanted to talk a little bit about your experience. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. Tell me what you've been doing for work, for the last few years or so.
So I worked with D.R. Horton as I started out as an assistant builder, assistant superintendent, and quickly worked my way up to a full superintendent. I was working mainly what we called spot lots, which is individual houses throughout the entire community. Did really well with that, built some great relationships with inspectors and my trade partners. Moved up from there to where I was given my own neighborhood. And in my own neighborhood, I was had a partner. We each had one side of the street. So I had 72 houses in my plate at that time. So that was a great experience. Whole new set of vendors and whole new set of inspectors because it was in a different part of the county. And did the same thing there. Proceeded to build relationships with both. They knew I was only a phone call away, and I did some of my best builds and fastest build times inside that neighborhood. And it was a really good feeling. I'd actually take my wife through the neighborhood every weekend just to show her my work.
Yeah.
So I take a lot of pride in my work as far as building.
So the position that I'm hiring for obviously is a little bit different than the type of building that you were used to. Do you have any experience with more of a high-end installation, or can you think of something that would translate to that based on your past experience?
So being that D.R. Horton is a production builder, we did have higher end neighborhoods that I would swap through to fill out when other builders were overwhelmed. I would move in because I was up doing my stuff. So I built a good handful of semi-custom builds,
Okay.
if you know of D.R. Horton, we have different models of every single home, and you're working with 10 to 12 different variations of different houses. And in the higher end side, they're much larger houses with the more high end features built inside of them. You know, mother-in-law suites, all of that. So with the semi-custom side, when you get right up to the final stage, it gives the homeowners, the buyers, the chance to choose cabinets and fixtures and countertops and flooring. And it's really kind of you have to keep really good communication and ensure that everything that they are envisioning is what the end product gives you. So easily adaptable too. Usually you just have to learn a new vendor list and deal with all higher end products.
Absolutely. Well, you answered actually like two of my questions in with that question. So thank you for that. Now, what about customer service? Because we did talk about that a little bit before when we first started chatting. And you shared some really interesting information regarding your customer service. So do you remember what that was?
Yeah, basically, when I'm building a house, I put myself in the position if I'm the homeowner, I'm the buyer, I'm the homeowner. So I put myself on that ground level to keep an eye on everything through the building process to ensure that it is to my liking, which usually ends up to being on the same level as the customer's liking. We built off of, we had 90-day and 10-month surveys to the customers after they had moved in, both times to spend time at the beginning, just moving in, settling in, getting through the quirks of a house, everything, and then after everything at the end. And I hit 5 stars on every single one of my surveys.
Yep, that's what you told me.
My customers, my homeowners, I would save their names in my phone and tell them, if you got something that comes up or anything, give me the opportunity to fix it before you have to go to any type of warranty or anything like that. very hands-on. I still have customers that call me to this day just to say happy, happy Easter or Merry Christmas or stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah, it's kind of you build kind of like a family in a way. They can
Mhm.
call on you whenever they have any questions or they need anything. And that way you can just make sure that they're always happy, keep in communication with them at all times through all the steps.
Sure.
Being really super quick to inform them if anything goes wrong,
Mhm.
because if you take ahead of it and beat it right at the beginning, it's not them stumbling on it or having to go into panic. So if anything goes wrong, just make sure you have a solution already figured out so you can tell them, hey, this went wrong, but we're doing this and we've got it. It's going to work out.
Sure. And then like the whole the inspection process, you were doing that. So of course that would translate. That would be the same type of process for production build as well as a custom build. Also like the vendor relations, like making those relationships, to ensure things flow smoothly. I would feel like that would be also very similar. But something else on your resume kind of stood out, and I just want to ask you. So, like deputy sheriff, how do you go from that to construction? Tell me about that.
Um, I loved being a deputy sheriff, and it was just brutal on my body.
Okay.
And I had a back injury that required several surgeries coming up on. And I'm good now, but at the time being back then, I just wasn't able to do it. So I jumped out of that into law enforcement subcontracting. So
Mm-hmm.
I would work with local municipalities, local law enforcement, state law enforcement. I've even worked with federal on high-end cases
Mm-hmm.
where I would track any type of violent offender
Mm-hmm.
and keep monitoring on them if they weren't tried to escape. This is after, they were bonded out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. And then I kind of backed away from that and I took kind of like I guess you can call it a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Just spent time with my wife and we just took a couple months off and just hung out for a while. Started tossing around the idea of starting my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started building our house with D.R. Horton. And I got to be friends with the builder. And he's like, hey, we're hiring. I was like, okay, I'll try. I'll give it a try. And it's been probably the most enjoyable experience I've had as far as any type of career.
Okay.
Um, every day's different. Every day's got a different challenge and get to meet lots of new people.
Sure. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this part of the interview, but I really appreciate you explaining all that. But don't go anywhere. We got other things to chat about.
Okay.